This conference will now be recorded.
hazardous waste, but we are still looking into that. So if people will hold it loosely, we are trying to get something scheduled where they could bring tires or paint or batteries or something along those lines that you just really don't know what to do with, that you have at home, and also potentially a couple of dumpsters if they could bring larger things. But we need to find a vendor. And I know some of our other cities around us have also selected October 5th as a trash pickup day. They are not doing hazardous waste in those cities, so we may have to postpone, but I just wanted to get it out there in front of the community.
And October 6th to the 12th is Fire Prevention Week. October 7th will be the next regularly scheduled planning and zoning meeting at 6 p.m. Right. Do I have a motion at this time to approve the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes unanimously. All right, do we have the monthly reports? I'd like to congratulate Jeanette on passing the state fire marshal.
Chief Estes is under the weather this evening, but I will pass it on to him.
Okay, moving on to the regular agenda. Discussion and any necessary action for the approval of the contract with the City of Aurora for police services. Would you like to speak to that?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Council. We've been discussing this renewal of our agreement with Aurora. It's been about 2 years now that we entered into an agreement. They were in a position where they wanted to increase law enforcement service, and they went out to bid and selected the City of Rome Police Department to provide that to them in a limited capacity. We agreed to do that. We've been doing that now for almost 2 years, and it seems to be working really well. But we did need to redo this contract. We have gone up in the compensation to our city for those services. They've agreed to that, and we've agreed as well. So this is merely a formality of renewing the contract that's already in place.
Now, there has been a change in the contract, has there not, Chief?
The compensation has gone up. It's gone to a 2-year contract with an escalation of no more than 10% the second year, and then it will renew annually as long as we don't change.
And thank you for running point on all of this and for getting on the agenda.
Yes, ma'am. Are there any questions about this?
Nothing else changed besides the amount.
No, ma'am. The hours stayed the same. Call response stayed the same.
Contract for $80,000 for this next calendar year. Correct?
That's correct.
We'll also see these numbers reflected in the budget for the police department, just so you all are aware.
No further discussion. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to authorize the city administrator to execute an interlocal cooperation agreement for law enforcement services between the city of Rome and the city of Aurora.
Do I have a second? A second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. Thank you. All right. Moving on to our second agenda item, which is the approval of a contract for computer-aided dispatch and records management system.
I think we're going to switch. We're going to do the third one, second, and the second and third, if that's okay, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Perfectly all right. The third agenda item is the approval of a contract with the city of Decatur for dispatch services.
That's correct. As we've discussed at length, the sheriff of Wise County, the current sheriff, Sheriff Lynn Aiken, and his chief deputy, Craig Johnson, approached the cities in Wise County about a year and a half ago with the intent to begin charging us for dispatch, even though we paid them state tax and sales tax, or city ad valorem tax and sales tax. They did implement a new idea to charge us for dispatch. Because of that, we felt it was the responsible thing to go out to bid and to find out what our options were in that area. When we did that, we quickly became aware that our better option was for the city of Decatur. Chief Melvin Campbell was interested in providing that service to our city, and we believe they're going to do a tremendous job for us. We're excited about this change. It's supposed to go live October 1st. If we agree tonight to implement this, we expect our service to go up and our costs to go down over what was going to be charged by the
Discussion?
And is this for 2-year term? Is that what I'm reading?
Yeah, it's a 2-year contract, similar to the Aurora contract, where we can opt out with a certain amount of time, and it will renew annually without having to go back through the process unless we choose to get out or make a change to it like we've done with it.
If it stays the same, price go up or down.
Well, as you know, with inflation and the economy as it is, I would expect it to go up nominally as we get busier, as we increase our calls for service. I would expect them to raise that price, but there is nothing in the contract now that would allow them to exponentially charge us more without our consent.
So if it does go up, go back.
We certainly could have that option of opting out of the contract. Yes.
So this is supposed to be done in conjunction with the communications antenna installation on the water tower.
Yes, that's been set back because of supply chain issues. Boyd, as you know, gave them the permission to use the water tower for that repeater. They are diligently working toward that effort. They have it scheduled, but it's not going to be in place in time. But we did do radio checks this past week with the radio here in town. Decatur brought their handheld and their mobile radios in the vehicle and drove all over Rome and Boyd to make sure that the radio would work before that repeater was installed. We did have a few areas of limited coverage, which frankly is very much what we're used to now with the county system. And it's my intention that mainly it's in Bywell. When they get to Bywell, the radio communication is fine, but the handhelds are a little spotty. And so we've agreed as chiefs, we will have that. Any call to Bywell would be a two-man call, and Boyd would come and assist us with that, so we have coverage. And then once the repeater's up, it will be crystal.
Further questions? Anyone like to offer a motion?
I move to approve the interlocal agreement for law enforcement communication services for the cities of Rome and Decatur and authorize Mayor Crenshaw to sign the agreement.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Now we'll go back to agenda item number 2 for the contract for the CAD RMS system.
So the reason we went in this order is because without Decatur Dispatch, we would not be under any rush to implement a CAD and RMS system that matches theirs. But I am under a rush to get CAD implemented here in the city of Rome. It's been one of my goals and objectives since the moment y'all hired me as chief. CAD is computer-aided dispatching, which allows the officers in the vehicles to get call notes on anything they're dispatched to. The system we're under right now, the only information they get is what the dispatcher tells them over the radio. And I can tell you from experience, that's often not complete. What this system does, it was designed basically in the 1960s. It was very universally used since the 1990s, and we're still trying to catch up to that. My officers are excited about the fact that if we go this route, it's going to cost us a little bit of money up front, but it will provide a level of officer safety that, frankly, they're unaccustomed to. And I'm excited to have for them. I can answer any questions about that or what the record management system is if you have anything specific.
So it's not DigiTicket. They actually do a ticket.
So that's on there with the expectation that we would implement some motorcycles in the the future, if we do, they would use the DigiTicket. They will be able to write citations through the software in their cars we print through the printers we have. I may remove DigiTicket from it just to save us money, but I think at the time I wanted to make sure we would cover before we made that decision. Rather bring it to you and say we saved money than to try to come back and say, hey,
What is the familiarity force from police force with this product, this CAD product, computer information systems?
so CAD, there's many vendors that do CAD. We don't have a choice on what vendor we can use because if our dispatch is from Decatur, we have to be on the same system as them. But during our feeling out process for who we were going to use for dispatch, we did go up. I had several officers go up and look at their CAD system, see how user-friendly it was, see how robust it was. And I will say they were all very happy with the performance of it. The officers we spoke to in Decatur were happy with the performance of it. I've gone through in my career probably through 7 or 8 iterations of CAD and RMS, and this one is right up there.
Just looking to the future, Chief, will the county be using the same system?
I don't know.
Is it back to the question? Is it pretty safe to assume that since this technology came out in the 90s, that any officer that was trained within the past at least 20 years has had some experience? Your officers have had some experience with the CAD system outside of their work environment?
Yes, all the officers that I've hired from other agencies are well versed in CAD and RMS. And CIS, the company that's implementing this for us, they are going to come out and give us a full day of training. And then I've spoken to Decatur, several of their officers said that for 24 hours a day, you can call them and say, I don't understand this, and they answer you. They have a 24-hour helpline, and they've never faltered giving the service. So while we were limited to what we could choose, we did do a lot of research to make sure it was going to be a good fit for us.
Now, in my career, I've lived through multiple failed implementations of software. And one common denominator, management didn't get it right. You're going to be leaving this career with months. And do we have a champion that's going to drive this in the course?
It will be completely implemented long before I leave. The new chief would step in, and it would just be our gear working. There would be no continuity problem between the new chief and the new officers or anybody. They would just step in, they would be trained on the job on how it works. Much like you do in any other police department, when you have a CAD arm system in, they just come in and learn during field training. I see no issues with that. It'll be fully implemented.
I'm more concerned with the management situation where people revert to using pen and paper again.
Oh, no, that couldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. And this isn't a system that we're just trying out and we're the guinea pigs for it. Decatur's been on this system for several years. They have had no issues.
I think it's about time. I'm excited we're getting to provide this for the officers and to just help y'all stay safe out there.
It'll help them sleep at night.
So about the financial impact, so the quote that's provided
That's for the system. We do have some other associated costs as far as the computers and the hardware we need in the vehicles to hold the new monitors and keyboards. But the computer software and implementation alone is the 111, give or take. And then, yes, it's then recurring fee to CIS is the other.
recurring annual fee.
Annual. Yeah, that's annually would be 11,000. And that would come up next article. Yeah, we always, I know Mr. Loftus from experience is always concerned about recurring fees, but what we receive for that recurring fee is priceless.
No further discussion. Do I hear a motion?
I motion to approve the computer information systems contract to provide computer-aided dispatch and records management systems and authorize the city administrator to sign the agreement.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. I would like to say thank you guys. I really appreciate that y'all take this seriously and consider the safety of the officers on the street. It means a lot to us.
Moving on, agenda item number 4, Texas Municipal League Region 8 Director Election.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We do have an opportunity to vote on the person who will represent us through TML. I did put in the cover memo for the agenda memo for your packet, some information on what they do. You also had in there a list of candidates of the 4 folks who were running. I know that you all do not know any of these people personally. So in talking with the mayor during our weekly meeting, he asked me to do some research and make a recommendation to you all. And at this point, if council chooses to vote on this position at all, I would recommend the incumbent, Mackenzie, who has been on the board for a bit of time and has a very long list of civic duties and actions and committees that he has served on. I think he would represent us well.
If I agree, would anyone like to make a motion to nominate people for the Region 8 representative?
I make a motion to nominate Mr. John Levine as the Region 8 Regional Director to the Texas Municipal League.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you very much. At this time, regular agenda items 5 and 6 will be postponed until our September 26th meeting to meet the time requirements for posting the public notice or public hearing. We will then approve and vote on the budget at that time. We have,
And the tax bill.
yeah, the
We
tax.
will take care of both of those pieces of business on the same day.
All right, unless there's any further discussion, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you very much. Meeting's adjourned.